Hey everybody, a little bit of a experiment we got going here. Project time at Side Hill Gill's workshop. So, as y'all know, I am always trying to get dead sleds up on these sled decks. Just the nature of the beast that I have a lot of sleds. So I popped the motor in the 900, there it is. And now I gotta get this thing up on the deck. So you can see it's got a cable run. Here's what we got. I'm gonna spin the camera around real quick. So first off, I just got a Badlands 2,000 pound ATV winch. That's gonna be what we're pulling with. So while working on a permanent hookup, today we're just gonna run jumper cables to the control wiring for the winch. All right, so a little strap around the A-arms there. So here's looking up the cable, headed up to the deck. All right, so this bracket is something I just kind of put together real fast. I built this. It goes over the front bed sheet on an F-150 pickup truck. Snowmobiles, whatnot, would bend in the front sheet. So I would drop this over, put a come-along on the hook to help bend my front sheet back. That was not big enough to go on the front sheet of the Duramax. So I added a larger channel. Problem I found there was, if I had that there winch set on the front sheet, pulling a snowmobile up an ATV ramp into the bed of the truck, the resistance would actually be so much it was pulling the front sheet without pulling the snowmobile up the ATV ramp. So today's experiment is the sled deck is my steel tubing on the headache rack, even though now I have a bigger ramp, but it's not as steep as trying to run a little ATV ramp into the bed of a truck. All right, so like I said, with that setup right there, I was pulling on a front sheet from the F-150 over there, but I just looked, I might have to take this thing back and do some more work. That original channel actually fits nice and snug, problem being that channel's hitting right on my back window down there. So for today, to find out how this thing's gonna pull, we're going to see if this thing will snug up enough right there to pull weight without slipping off. Let's put some weight on this thing and see how she goes. All right, snugged her up a little bit. Watching my headache rack there nice and close. And you can watch the torque on. I like it. Bringing it right up. That thing's barely holding. Woohoo! Not the safest thing I've done. I'm out of the line of fire though. So maybe what we got a problem there is the hook's snagging on the bed and that bolt. Dang it. Have to figure that out. And am I against my 2,000 pounds? All right, so we're gonna have to pull the snowmobile up by hand here. Skags, we're a little bound. Let's see how we go now. And I think I'm maybe the skis are what's catching there, the skags. And I'm not sure why I don't know if the winch is maxing out its 2,000 pounds of. And it is not wanting to get it right there. So I might have to help it a little bit. Oh. Carbides, I think we're grabbing. Think we're doing good so far. I'm gonna have to adjust a little bit. So, to keep my lead off of the headache rack, I offset it on the headache rack there, but the lead is kind of cutting on my ATV mountain plate. So a few tweaks we got to do here, but it worked. So one issue I'm snagging, I got to build a little roller or something to go on the edge of the deck. But even if I could get a sled this far, I could probably still get down there and push it up when I'm by myself. So I think I'm gonna lock the brake and we're gonna finish this thing off. The mounting bracket I'm gonna have to do some adjustment on, and working on the tail of the sled deck there to create something for the cable to roll over. And I know I'm gonna have to help pull the skis up and over. The carbides kind of dig into the wood there. So as we take one last look, one thing I wasn't watching was the pull. I mean, I was just watching the sled, and you can tell I got some cables crossed. I'm not sure what this little tin plate is here, but as you can see, yeah. So that's something I'm gonna have to look at. For now, I'll unspool this thing and kind of hand spool it, park the sled on the brake, and get that figured out. All right, as I was down there digging on this, and if anybody's wondering, yes, I do have a set of rollers to put on the roller plate there. They just came in and I haven't mounted them yet. So to get a better lock, like I was talking about on that channel, I just flipped it around. Should have done that a little bit ago. So we're off of this big 3-inch channel and down on the smaller one. So now, let's see. This is a non-professional. We're kind of, okay. Woo. So I'll have to put like a little pin or something to lock that retainer in. So from here, I'm just gonna push it up by hand, and I think it'll all work. So I'll have to make a retainer pin that goes through those angles, I think, or figure out a way to lock that down. Flip around my roller plate, mount the rollers, which won't work because now I'm pulling from the top. So that'll actually work better because that'll keep me from getting into the plate like I was. Yeah,